um, okay. Well, if you know the video, and if you've read the title or thumbnail or whatever, you click on the video regardless. But hi, hello, I'm Ghosty, and welcome back to the underworld. And, well, just hi. I could definitely put this under news within Necronomicon, but I normally do that with groups of news and info, so this is just going to be a normal video. But I'm not going to drag it out too long. I'm going to get straight to the point. Death Note is getting a live-action series from the creators of Stranger Things. It doesn't completely make sense when I even say it out loud, but let's actually get deeper into it and talk about it. So, I haven't really talked about Death Note at all on this channel so far, so you might not know, or if you do know me and you already know what I'm about to say, I am in love with Death Note. I love Death Note so much, and it's one of my favorite things. So, that being said, if you don't know what Death Note is, and if you're unaware of that, it's a story about a teenager named Light Yagami that comes across a notebook that has the ability to kill people with a name and face. And of course it has a bunch of other characters, but I'm not going to get too deep into it. But the notebook does bring along a little something, and that is a Shinigami, a god of death, that follows the user of the notebook around and is basically by their side until the end. So, if it's not intriguing already, I'll tell you myself, watch it or read it. Do whatever you need to. I heavily recommend it, and it's awesome. I love it so much. And yes, that includes the ending and all of the show or story entirely. Trust me, I know it's controversial, but who cares? I love it. And I hope you all do too. If you've watched it, read it, or if you're going to start it, go ahead. I will talk about some things that are spoilers, but I'll wait towards the end of the video to talk about that, so you're fine for now. But if you are here, you probably already know what Death Note is, and hopefully you join me in loving said story. So let's talk about it. So, I'm not sure whose choice it was, or who... I guess obviously it was the creators, but a live-action Death Note is interesting, to say the least. It's not the best choice. Obviously, we've had things like this, and this, this, and even this coming up soon. I have no clue when, but we have, and are going to have, live-action adaptations of animes or manga. So, we have a little bit of experience. Even with the Death Note, we have this, which I didn't even watch, because I just heard so many bad things about it, and I've seen a bunch of clips. I've basically seen the whole movie just in clips and scenes. I never actually watched the full movie myself. I will say though, Ryuk looks cool. I'm not gonna lie about that. But for this, it's a live-action series, and Stranger Things, the creators are the Duffer Brothers, and they're the ones that are choosing to do this, and they're the creators of Stranger Things, like I just said, but they're the ones that are making this new Death Note series. And of course it's interesting, and like I've mentioned, the live-action anime adaptations that we've gotten aren't very good at all, really. Nothing ever gets praise when it's from the anime community or manga that's adapted into live action or made into live action. It's never praised for anything, and rightfully so. They don't do a good job at all. The Duffer Brothers, it seems like they're treading into this territory that they're unaware of when it comes to the anime and manga world. But maybe they have their experience or their interest in that stuff. Maybe they are just fans of Death Note itself. Maybe they're fans of Dragon Ball Z or Bleach or maybe even One Piece. I'm not sure. And I don't know that much, but I do know that this news is real, and they are making this Death Note series for Netflix. I'm not sure if I said that already, but it is for Netflix, just like the movie is, which, again, wasn't good and it didn't get any praise, again, rightfully so, because of obvious reasons. It goes completely off the story and changes characters to the bad end, and it just ends up as a disaster. And it's just not good, and it shouldn't be done. It's something that people should avoid, and something that companies should avoid doing, because it never goes well. This might take a turn. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure if I'm even interested in it. Well, it's Death Note, so I have my eye on it, but I'm not going to go out of my way to watch it. But when it does come out, maybe I'll be take a look at it and kind of just be a little interested in it. But like I said, it might not be the best choice. They could make it absolutely horrible. But I think, personally, Stranger Things is pretty damn good, and I enjoy it to the fullest. And I see a lot of stuff that shines in it. Pretty much everything in that show does shine. and the production and value of it and like effort that's put into it makes it seem like it's well deserved of the popularity that it has. And they could do the same with this. Death Note already is pretty popular and one of my favorite things, so I hope they do it justice at least. I'm again pretty like on the fence about it. I'm not sure what to think. Again, I'm kind of interested in it, but at the same time, we know how anime adaptations go. But this one is weird because we do have a live action adaptation coming, but it also is being made by the Duffer Brothers, which are the creators of Stranger Things. So we see how much care and effort they put into their own show, but this is a whole different thing. They're taking something that already has a full story and even one-shots of, and a whole universe that they haven't touched yet, and they're making their own series. What I'm hoping for is a direct adaptation. I'm talking one-to-one series, or maybe they might go down the route of writing it differently and having like an alternate ending. That is something that could definitely be possible, and it might be likely since a lot of people don't really like the ending and how things play out. But we'll have to see when the series is out and their live action version, I guess. It does raise a lot of questions though. Like, for one thing, we know that Stranger Things, I probably did say this already, but Stranger Things has a lot of effort and care put into it, and the effects are amazing. It looks really damn good, I think, and it all is amazing. The effects, the CGI, anything that they throw in there, I mean, I guess that is under the category of effects, but regardless, they could do really damn good with this. But it also has a good chance of absolutely flopping and being the worst thing ever. We really have to see what they do with it. Again, it could really have a lot of care and love put into it. Hopefully they are actual big fans of the series and the actual story of Death Note, because I would love that. And that means maybe they actually would, put their own care into it and think of the fans too and what the actual story is and give it justice. But for now, we know nothing other than just them creating it. And the news of the series existing is out to be now. And that's why I'm talking about it. Literally just came out. So, but it raises a lot of questions. Like, how are they going to go about it? How are they going to write it? Like I said, I'm hoping just for a one-to-one scale of it. Each episode of the anime is just transported into live action and just like that. And that's it. They could, again, write it differently if they want to. It is their series, but I'm hoping for just a live action like rendition of it, of the anime. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. Including even with the anime ending. That included. Since I am aware that the anime and manga endings are different, like slightly, I do hope they take the anime approach. But regardless, it's happening, and there's even more questions than that. Are they going to base it in Japan still? Or are they going to take the shitty reel that is the Death Note movie from 2017 and do that, and do what they did with it? Oh god, I hope not. But that's all being said, if they even choose to do the Death Note story that we know, with Light, Ryuk, L, it could be an entire different story, just in live action with the Death Note in the book. Obviously, it would have the Shinigami world and all that, and the same rules apply, just live action and a different story. Different characters, brand new setting, maybe that is, even the movie itself from 2017 that I just mentioned would have been better with that. And they didn't touch at all the story that we know of, but it is what it is, I guess. But saying that they will, regardless if they even do a new story or if they touch and shine light on the story that we already know of, it could be good. It has its ups and downs. Like, downs, we're getting live action Death Note. Another one. Which, again, not many adaptations of anime stuff goes recognized, really. Because it's just not good. It's not ever good, really. But some goods are like the effects. Like the Shinigami world, say. Or Ryuk. We've seen it in the 2017 movie and other live action renditions from like way early on. Like, there have been live action iterations. But like this, with updated CGI and everything, the Shinigami world I think would look awesome. I think Ryuk would look great. I just hope if they do touch the story that we know already, I'm just hoping that they give respect to the source material. And if they even do keep it the way, like I was saying, with the story that we already know, even if they do write it the same and keep it the exact same, it all also depends on the acting. Because the characters are a huge part of the story, and they have very specific like standards, and everything that makes them the character is important. Everything to the character is what makes it significant. So hopefully, whoever is acting, whoever plays, like say if they cast Light, if they cast Misa, all that, if they do have the same story and same characters, hopefully they choose people that will give respect to the source material and will do good as them respective characters. But hey, again, that's even if they do the same story. It could be a live, like 3 episode short of Tanaka from the Death Note one shot. That was like pretty recent. Well, not that recent, but it was like what 2-3 years ago, maybe around there, maybe even 4. I'm not sure, but it's happening, and we can't really stop it. So we just have to hope they do it justice, and hopefully we get more news soon about it. Because again, all we have now is the announcement that it exists and it's in the works. That's really all we have. No casting details, no plot details. We really don't know anything besides that. And then the same thing goes with their casting choices. Hopefully they do it justice, and hopefully they can get actors and actresses that can play these parts, because the characters are very significant. Not only because of the story, but just each character individually is important, and the very specific things about the characters and mannerisms that each character takes that has to be done really well to actually perfect it and for it to be good, is what I'm saying. And hopefully they just do it justice. And again, I'm really hoping they're fans of the series and of Death Note, so they could do it justice, or at least just do justice to the source material with whatever it is. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. No idea when it's going to come out. Hopefully soon, but we never know. But a good thing for now that we do know is that it's a series. It's not a movie or a film or anything like that. It's not a short. It's a series, and we know that, which is good. That's better for the story, just like how the anime is. It's good that way, and it's beautiful that way. And just leave it at that. It doesn't have to be a film or a short or anything like that. I'm glad that we know it's a series. They could have just said it exists, and that's it. But we know it's a series, thankfully, and we have that. But I'm I'm kind of nervous for it, because I don't know what to expect. Again, hopefully if they do just do the original series, they do justice for it, and they do good. Or at least maybe even just a 1-to-1 ratio. Just like a 1-to-1 scale of it. Just like how the anime is. Just transported to live action. Or again, could be an original story. We have no details other than just that it exists. But again, there are ups and downs. And I'm hoping to see it through and hoping it's going to be good. Not going to be better than the original, obviously, but hopefully they can make it work and, make some workarounds and do it justice. But God, Kira, I just hope they're just fans of it at least. So they do it some sort of justice, and it has some good aspects to it at least. Expectations wise, obviously, like I said, and if it wasn't clear, I'm not sure whether or not I should be excited for it. I'm interested only because it's a Death Note thing, and it involves Death Note at all. But I think that they're either going to, for those who've watched it or read it, they know the halfway point that everyone talks about, like in the Death Note fan base, or just that halfway point when that one thing happens, like halfway through the series, before it moves on to that next part. Like say split it into 2 parts. After the one part ends, they might cut it off at that. It might not be that way, but maybe. I think that's how it's going to go down. Or again, if they do a 1-to-1 scale of it, which would be kind of pointless, but hey, it would still happen, and I would still watch it, I guess. But I think they might do that. But again, we don't know, and we really don't know anything. But I do know for sure, if they do it wrong, maybe Kira's judgment will fall upon them themselves. So maybe we'll have to see. I'm not sure. But I think that's all for this. I might have repeated myself a bunch, but again, there's not much info that we have about it. I just wanted to sit down and talk about it real quick and just share my thoughts about it, because it's bizarre and it's like a seesaw kind of thing about this and my opinions on it. But it's Death Note, so there we have it. And I haven't really talked on Death Note at all on the channel, so this will be a start for it. But again, that's all, and that's it. And I am aware that I say the word justice a lot in this video, but this video is probably the most fitting for that word of all videos. But anyways, thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, etc., etc. All that common YouTube stuff. But thank you for watching again, and that's all. This has been Ghosty, and I bid you farewell.